Imagine standing in the middle of a bustling city where the world moves faster than you can keep up. The sound of cars rushing by, voices blending into a chaotic hum, and the flicker of neon lights all weave together into an overwhelming chorus. But in that one moment, everything stops. Time slows to a crawl, and for the briefest instant, there is a silence, a profound stillness that seems to stretch forever. You are aware of nothing but your breath, the beating of your heart, and the undeniable pull you feel towards someone standing across the street. It's not a force you can explain. It's not love at first sight or a random attraction. It is something deeper, something cosmic, as if the universe itself has conspired to bring you together in this fleeting instant. This is the whisper of the universe. In the middle of the bustling chaos of life, when everything feels like it's moving too fast, the universe doesn't shout its message. Instead, it whispers. It doesn't force or demand attention. No, it speaks quietly, like a gentle breeze brushing your skin, almost imperceptible. And yet, you feel it. You feel it in the pit of your stomach, in the hairs on the back of your neck. This is not just a random encounter. This is a moment that was meant to happen, a divine alignment that could change everything. As you look into their eyes, you feel an overwhelming sense of familiarity, something that tells you your soul has known them before, even if this is the first time you've ever met. It is a sensation beyond words, beyond logic. It's a feeling that transcends the boundaries of time and space. You can't explain it, but you don't need to. You don't need to understand it. You just need to experience it. In that moment, you realize the universe has whispered and you have heard its call. This is the beginning of something profound, the kind of connection that doesn't need words, doesn't require explanations. It simply is. A perfect alignment of souls, a cosmic dance that will forever change the course of your life. The universe has a way of nudging us toward the people, places, and experiences that will shape us, but it does so with a quiet precision. You begin to notice these subtle signs, small moments, fleeting encounters, and seemingly insignificant events that seem to align perfectly, all pointing in one direction. Synchronicity is the thread that ties these seemingly random occurrences together, weaving them into a story far greater than the sum of its parts. It starts innocuously enough, with a fleeting thought about someone you haven't seen in years. Perhaps they've crossed your mind randomly, or maybe you were reminded of them by a song, a smell, or a place. You push the thought aside, dismissing it as nothing more than a passing memory. But then, as if the universe has been listening to your thoughts, they reach out. A text message pops up on your phone from that very person. You are stunned. Butabam, also stunned, not because of the message itself, but because of the precise timing. How could they have known that you were just thinking about them? The timing is impeccable, and you can't help but feel the strange pull of the universe's design. It doesn't stop there. As the day unfolds, more synchronicities emerge. You walk into a crowded cafe, your mind still buzzing from the unexpected text. And there, across the room, you spot them. It's them. The person you haven't seen or thought about in years, standing in the exact same spot where you thought you might see them. At the exact moment your mind was full of their presence, the air feels charged with something you can't quite explain. Something deep, something stirring in the core of your being. It feels like destiny, unfolding in real time. This is synchronicity at work, the meaningful coincidence of two or more events that are deeply connected, yet not causally related. Carl Jung, who introduced the idea of synchronicity, described it as the phenomenon where inner and outer worlds collide in such a perfect way that it seems as though the universe is speaking directly to you. There is no explanation that fits the logic of chance. You might try to dismiss it as coincidence, but the more you experience these moments, the more you begin to understand that there's something bigger at play. It's not just the reappearance of someone you thought was long lost. It's the feeling that they've been waiting for you to reach out, as if they too were subconsciously tuned to the same frequency. You feel a strange sense of recognition. It's as though the very fabric of the universe has pulled this moment into existence, aligning your paths at just the right moment. And as you share a conversation, it feels so familiar, like a continuation of a story that has been unfolding for much longer than either of you realize. But synchronicity doesn't only show itself through people, it weaves itself through symbols, numbers, and signs in the world around you. You may find yourself noticing patterns that you've never seen before, like a particular sequence of numbers or a symbol that seems to appear everywhere you look. Maybe it's the same number you saw on a receipt when you were thinking about a particular decision, or the symbol that appears on a sign right when you're grappling with an important question. One evening after a long day, you sit down to relax, scrolling through social media, your thoughts still heavy with the questions that have been plaguing you. A post catches your eye, the words seeming to jump off the screen. Everything you need to know is within you, it reads. The post was shared by someone you barely know, yet the timing couldn't be more perfect. It's as though the universe is speaking directly to you, offering reassurance, a gentle nudge toward understanding. Synchronicity isn't always about clarity or certainty. Sometimes it's about alignment, the feeling that the universe is guiding you in the right direction, even when you don't fully understand where it's taking you. These moments, though fleeting, create a sense of peace, a knowing that there's more to life than what we can see and touch. It's a reminder that there is something larger than our individual selves at work, something that sees the bigger picture, even when we can't. As you begin to pay attention to these signs, you start to notice more and more instances of synchronicity. You see a friend's name pop up on your phone just as you were thinking about them. The song you're listening to feels like it was written for you, as if the universe is whispering directly to your heart. You pass by a street sign, and for a split second, it feels as if the universe is guiding you, directing you exactly where you need to go. But what does it all mean? What is the purpose behind these meaningful coincidences? Is it simply a series of random events? Or is there something deeper? Something that the universe is trying to communicate to you? The more you reflect on these experiences, the more you begin to understand that they are not random at all. Each synchronicity is a step toward greater understanding, a reminder that you are exactly where you need to be at exactly the right time. Perhaps these moments are nudging you toward a particular person, a specific opportunity, or a deeper understanding of yourself. Perhaps they are guiding you on your journey of self-discovery, reminding you that there is a path ahead, one that is aligned with your soul's deepest desires. Whatever the case may be, the universe's whispers are not to be ignored. They are invitations to pay attention, to reflect, and to trust that you are not alone in this journey. And as you continue to notice these moments of synchronicity, you begin to realize that they are not just coincidences. They are the universe's way of saying, you are on the right path. Keep going. Every sign, every moment, every connection is a thread in the tapestry of your life, weaving together a story that is uniquely yours. This is the magic of synchronicity, the realization that life is not random, that everything happens for a reason, and that you are exactly where you are meant to be. There's a strange kind of magic in the way the universe arranges our lives. People come into our lives not by coincidence, but because they hold a mirror to us. They reflect not just the best parts of ourselves, but also our shadows, the aspects we try to hide from the world and sometimes from ourselves. These encounters, though they may seem simple or unimportant at first, become transformative. They shine a light on parts of us that we've buried, and they offer us the chance to face the truth of who we are. In the beginning, it's easy to mistake these encounters for something light, something easy. You meet someone, you feel drawn to them, and for a while everything feels perfect. They seem to embody everything you've ever wanted, and you can't help but feel an undeniable pull toward them. They're everything you've dreamed of, everything you've imagined in your mind's eye. And for a while, that's enough. You see only the good. But what happens when the illusion starts to crack? The first time you feel it, it's subtle. You catch a glimpse of yourself in their eyes, and for a moment you don't recognize the person staring back at you. It's as though they've pulled something out of you that was hiding, something you didn't want to face. It's not their fault, of course, but in the reflection of their gaze, you see your own insecurities, your fears, your wounds. These are parts of you that you've buried so deep, so far beneath the surface that you thought they were gone. But they're not gone. They've been waiting, hiding, and now they're coming to the surface, ready to be seen. It's at this moment that you begin to understand the true power of the connection. It's not just about love or attraction, it's about truth. The person standing in front of you is not just a lover, a friend, or a companion. They are a mirror. And just like any mirror, they don't just reflect your beauty or your strengths, they reflect your shadows, your hidden fears, and the parts of you that you'd rather not acknowledge, which you not. It's not comfortable and it's not easy, but it is necessary. This is where the real work begins. As you continue to engage with this person, the reflection becomes clearer. You see the parts of yourself that you've neglected, ignored, or even rejected. They may trigger your deepest insecurities, the fear of not being enough, the fear of abandonment, of the fear of being alone. These fears were always there, buried beneath the surface, but now they're impossible to ignore. And with each passing moment, the mirror they hold up to you gets clearer, more defined. In the beginning, it may feel like you're looking at someone else's reflection, but as the connection deepens, you realize it's your own. You're not just falling for the person in front of you. You're falling for the version of yourself that they bring out. They activate something deep within you, something buried in your soul. It's as if they've unlocked a door you didn't even know was there. You start to see yourself in ways you never have before. Not just your strengths, but your weaknesses, your fears, your wounds. And through that process, you begin to heal. The truth of this connection is that it doesn't just reveal the good. It reveals the parts of you that are still broken, still hurting, and still in need of healing. The person who enters your life is not there to fix you or complete you. They are there to show you what's been hidden. They are a guide, not just a companion, and their role is to help you face the truth of who you are. And in that truth, there is power. The more you confront these hidden parts of yourself, the more you heal. You begin to understand that the mirror they hold up to you is not meant to break you. It's meant to build you. It's meant to challenge you, to ask you to face the parts of yourself that you've been avoiding. These are the parts of you that need love, compassion, and understanding. And in facing them, you begin to grow. You begin to transform. But it's not just the person in front of you who is a mirror. The world around you becomes a mirror as well. The more you look within, the more the outer world reflects back your own inner truth. You begin to notice patterns in your life, patterns that were always there, but that you were too distracted to see. You see the way people treat you and the way you treat others, and you begin to realize that everything is a reflection of how you feel about yourself. If you are kind and loving to yourself, that love will flow outward. If you are hard on yourself, that harshness will be reflected in the world around you. At this point, you may begin to understand that the universe has been showing you these truths all along. The synchronicities, the signs, the people who come into your life, they are all reflections of your inner world. They are mirrors that show you where you need to heal, where you need to grow, and where you need to transform. And when you begin to see the world as a mirror, you realize that everything is connected. You are not separate from the universe. You are a part of it, and the universe is constantly reflecting back to you the state of your soul. But this process isn't easy. Confronting your shadows, acknowledging your wounds, and facing the parts of yourself that you've been avoiding takes courage. It's not always comfortable, and it's not always clear, but it is necessary. The universe will continue to send people into your life who serve as mirrors until you are ready to see the truth. And when you finally do, you will realize that the people who trigger you, who challenge you, and who bring up your deepest fears are not the enemy. They are your teachers. They are the ones who help you see what you could not see before. And through them, you will learn to love yourself more deeply, to heal your wounds, and to transform into the person you were always meant to be. So the next time you meet someone who shakes you to your core, who triggers your deepest fears, remember, they are a mirror. They are reflecting back to you the parts of yourself that need to be healed. They are not here to hurt you. They are here to help you see the truth. And in that truth, you will find your power. The power to heal, the power to love, and the power to transform. There's an old saying that goes, "The darkest hour is just before the dawn." We often hear this phrase when life feels particularly unbearable, when the weight of the world presses down on our shoulders and the pain seems like it will never end. But there is a deeper truth behind those words. What if the pain we feel, the heartache, the sorrow, the moments of absolute despair, are not signs that something is wrong, but that something is awakening within us? What if pain in all its raw, uncomfortable forms is not our enemy, but our greatest teacher? Pain is one of the most profound experiences we can have as human beings. It is inevitable, it is unavoidable, and yet it is through pain that we often find our most significant growth. It is through the discomfort of breaking down, the ache of having our illusions shattered, that we begin to see the world in a new light. It is when we fall apart that we can begin to rebuild ourselves, stronger, wiser, and more attuned to the truth of who we are. At the start of any transformative journey, the pain often feels like a punishment. It's easy to think, in our most vulnerable moments, that we are being tested beyond what we can bear, that the universe is pushing us to our limits. It may come in the form of a lost relationship, the loss of a loved one, or the feeling that everything we once knew is slipping through our fingers. It feels like a rupture, a fracture of the soul. And in those moments, it's natural to wonder if we'll ever be whole again. But this is where the universe works in ways that we don't always understand. The pain we feel is not an ending. It is a beginning. It is the moment when our old selves begin to break away, when the pieces of the past that no longer serve us begin to crumble, creating space for something new to emerge. The pain serves as a catalyst for change, a necessary force that propels us forward, even when we feel like retreating. Take, for example, the process of healing from a broken heart. When you first experience the loss, it feels like the world has ended. You are consumed by sorrow, and every day feels like a struggle to breathe. The person you thought you would spend your life with is no longer by your side, and the future you envision suddenly feels uncertain and broken. You try to hold on, but the tighter you grip, the more it slips away. At first, you may resist the pain. You may numb yourself, distract yourself, or convince yourself that everything will be okay, even though deep down you know that something profound has shifted. But slowly, the pain begins to teach you something deeper. You begin to confront the parts of yourself that you have been avoiding, the feelings of unworthiness, the fear of abandonment, the unresolved grief. The person who once filled the space next to you has triggered something within you that needs to be seen, and as you face these emotions, you begin to heal. You realize that the pain is not just about the loss, it's about the parts of you that have been waiting to be acknowledged, to be felt, to be healed. It's in this painful process of facing what we fear most that we begin to understand the depth of our own strength. You start to realize that you are not defined by the loss, by the heartache, or by the past. You are defined by how you rise from it. The pain cracks you open, and through that opening, light pours in. You start to see yourself in a way you never have before, raw, vulnerable, but whole in your brokenness. But pain is not only emotional, it can also be physical, mental, or even spiritual. Sometimes the pain we feel manifests in our bodies. We hold tension in our muscles, we carry stress in our bones, and we often ignore the warning signs our bodies give us until the pain becomes unbearable. But even physical pain can be a teacher. It forces us to slow down, to listen, and to become aware of what is no longer serving us. It challenges us to stop and reflect on the deeper imbalances in our lives, whether it's a lack of self-care, a refusal to confront our fears, or the need to release past trauma. This is where the concept of shadow work comes into play. Carl Jung's idea of the shadow involves the parts of ourselves that we have repressed or rejected, the parts we do not want to see. It's the parts we want. These parts often hold our greatest potential for growth. They are the emotions, the memories, and the aspects of our personality that we hide from ourselves and others. The pain we experience, whether it's emotional or physical, is often connected to the shadow. It is an invitation to dive deeper into these hidden parts, to explore them, to bring them to light. When you allow yourself to face the pain, to sit with it instead of running from it, you begin to understand that it is not something to be feared. It is something to be embraced. Pain is a sign that something in you is shifting, that a new version of yourself is being born. And though the process may be slow and uncomfortable, it is leading you toward greater authenticity and freedom. One of the most powerful realizations you can have is that pain is not a sign of weakness. It is a sign of courage. It takes immense courage to feel the pain, to confront the darkness within, and to allow yourself to be vulnerable. It is through this vulnerability that we heal and grow. The more you embrace your pain, the more you reclaim your power. You stop avoiding the discomfort and instead you lean into it, trusting that it will lead you to a place of healing. And when you emerge from the pain, whether it's the pain of loss, the pain of change, thawing, or the pain of confronting your own fears, you realize that you are not the same person who entered it. You are transformed, you are stronger, you are more connected to yourself, to your truth, and to the world around you. Pain then becomes a bridge. It connects you to your deepest self. It opens you to the truth of who you are and what you are capable of. The journey through pain is a journey of awakening, an awakening to your own resilience, to your own strength, and to your own capacity for love. It teaches you that you are not broken by your experiences. You are shaped by them. So when the pain comes, and it will come as it always does, remember that it is not the end of the story. It is the beginning of a new chapter. It is a sign that you are being cracked open so that the light can shine through. And in that light, you will find your true self waiting for you stronger than ever before. As the storm clears and the winds of change settle, a quiet calm emerges, one that is deeper, richer, and more expansive than anything you've ever known. You stand on the other side of your journey, not as the person you once were, but as the person you were always meant to become. The transformation is profound, not in the way you might have expected, but in the way it touches the very core of your being. Transformation is not a destination, it is a journey. And as you move forward, you begin to understand that each step, no matter how painful, has led you here. The pain, the challenges, the heartbreak, they were all part of the process. They were all stepping stones to something greater. And now, as you stand in the fullness of who you are, you see clearly that the universe was not trying to break you. It was trying to guide you. Through every challenge, the universe has whispered to you, encouraging you to grow, to evolve, and to awaken to your highest self. It has used pain, synchronicity, and the mirrors of others to show you the way. And in the end, it was not the external world that needed to change. It was you. You have transformed, and now you are aligned with the true essence of who you are. But transformation is not a one-time event. It is a continual process of shedding old layers, confronting new challenges, and becoming more fully yourself with each passing day. It is not a quick fix or a magic solution, but a journey of continuous growth. One that asks you to step deeper into your truth, no matter how uncomfortable it may feel. The key to transformation lies in embracing this process. It lies in trusting that even when the road ahead seems uncertain, you are exactly where you need to be. You are no longer defined by the past, nor are you bound by your old fears and insecurities. You have shed those layers, and now you are free. Free to create the life you've always dreamed of. Free to step into your fire and free to love yourself fully and completely. But as much as this journey has been about you, it is also about the world around you. Transformation is not just an internal process. It has a ripple effect. As you change, you inspire others to change. The more you align with your truth, the more you invite others to do the same. Your transformation becomes a beacon for those who are still lost, still struggling, still searching for a way out of their own darkness. This is the true power of transformation. It doesn't just change you, it changes the world. As you heal, as you evolve, you become a part of a greater collective awakening, one that spreads far beyond your own life. You are not just transforming for yourself, but for the entire universe, for everyone whose path you cross and whose life you touch. Your energy, your presence, your growth ripple outward, affecting everything around you in ways you cannot yet understand. And now, as you stand at the threshold of this new chapter, the universe whispers once more, are you ready? Ready to embrace the unknown? Ready to continue the journey, knowing that it will not always be easy, but that it will always be worth it? Ready to move forward, fully aligned with your highest self, and step into the life you were meant to live? The call to transformation is not a passive invitation. It is an active choice. It is the choice to step into your power, to heal and to grow. It is the choice to keep going, even when the road gets tough, knowing that each step you take is bringing you closer to the life you desire. So what will you choose? Will you continue to live in fear and resistance? Or will you take that first step toward becoming the person you are destined to be? The universe has spoken. The time for change is now. The time for transformation is now. The time to step into your highest self is now. If this message has resonated with you, if you feel that deep pull toward transformation, then it's time to act. Take the first step today. Don't wait for the perfect moment, because the perfect moment is right now. Subscribe to this channel for more content that will inspire and guide you on your journey of self-discovery and transformation. Share this message with someone who needs to hear it, someone who is ready to embrace the change they've been longing for. Comment below and share your story. What part of your transformation are you ready to step into? What has held you back, and what are you choosing to release as you move forward? The universe is calling. Are you ready to answer?